Welcome to Conversations with Kay. My name is Kay and I just tell it like it is, and some people don't like that. This video is just my opinions and should not be construed as facts. I've been trying to make this video for days, but life's been really busy. Work always gets in the way of my YouTube. So some of you may know that I went on Katie's live the other day and tried to have an adult conversation with her. And yeah, that didn't go well. Now, for just a little bit of background, here's what happened. Anybody that's been with when I restarted my channel from the beginning knows that my biggest thing is not using minors for content. This was always my biggest issue with Katie, was using minors for content. That's just my thing. So I had worked all day and came home and found social media flooded with all this stuff about the Michael Long story. And then I saw she was live on YouTube and that she had several other YouTubers come on to talk about it. And she was very smug about the whole thing. So I was pretty ticked off. And normally when I'm mad, I don't do anything. I usually take a day to think about it because I don't like to do things when I'm heated. But this so hit me the wrong way that I just went with it and jumped in her live. Now, having said that, I was still very respectful to everybody. Katie, her chat, I was respectful to everybody there. My subs know I have refused to ever cover this story about Michael Long. I have been asked over and over to do it, and I refused. And my answer was always this. Both parents were lying. Both parents were doing wrong by those kids. And this stuff being on social media was never going to make things better for those children. And that's all I care about. I knew this was never going to be good. So I refused to do it. Now, I could have done it. And I could have made thousands upon thousands of dollars making videos about this story. But I don't use minors for content, so that was never going to happen. But I could have done it, and I could have built my subscriber base. I'd probably be at 80,000 subs now had I done it. But I absolutely refused. So what's the most dangerous YouTuber out there? I feel it's a YouTuber that doesn't have to make money. I never have to make a dime off my videos, Katie Joy, and my life will be fine. That's why I can do what I do. This is why I don't have to schmooze other YouTubers to build my channel. Because it'll either grow or it won't. And that's fine with me. And I don't have to make money off it, so I don't care. I will do the content I want to do, and I draw a hard line at using minors for content. Now, having said that, I have had to check myself. Months and months and months ago, before anybody knew who Claudia Conway was, I made a TikTok tea video about her because I thought she was fascinating. And this was way before anybody else was talking about her. I had it up, I think about 24 hours, and then I realized how old she was. And I was like, holy crap, she's a minor. I truly thought she was much older. She seems much older than her age. So once I knew that she was a minor, I immediately took the video down. Had to check myself, learned a good lesson, didn't do it. Here's the other thing before somebody points it out. I do have a video on JoJo Siwa. Again, I thought she was 18. Apparently she's 17. I have not pulled that one down, which it doesn't matter, because there's nothing bad in that video. It was just a fun fluff video about her clothes and how much I like her, actually. So I did not take that one down. So I just want to point those out before somebody says something. We all make mistakes, but I try to rectify mine. So back to Katie's live. I've got some clips here we're going to go through, and you will see that she really never has an answer. And that once again, she makes it all about herself. I'm trying to talk about just having an adult conversation about not using minors for content, which any other YouTubers out there, I would love to have a whole panel on this and just talk about it. But I suspect no other YouTubers want to talk about it. But if you do, get a hold of me. I'd love to do it. And instead, Katie, in true Katie fashion, turns it all around, makes it all about her. So let's just give a listen to the first clip.
You know, when you look at everything, that there's stuff going on here, but I think this would be impossible, Kay. And if that's what you want to do and spend your time on, that's fine. But kids are on YouTube, and I don't think anyone here is talking about what happened to the girl. Everything is right now about the dad. I noticed her trying to gently question him a long time ago, but the mob of people that were trying to push her to defend him was attacking her every move. And I do think that a part of the problem here was that if you were not, hey, Kay Baxter, I know you don't love me, and I know that you also use thumbnails and make me look really bad in them. So I don't care if you make videos of me. Could you just maybe find better pictures for the thumbnails and then maybe try to be slightly not mean to me all the time? I would love that. Good luck on your channel. And just because we have different opinions, I don't dislike you. I don't dislike Annie. I disagree with how she handled this, and I think she's aware things were handled wrong. Give me 1 second.
So right off the bat, she says, this is about the dad, not SL. Okay, I call BS. Stop it, Katie. We're not stupid. You can't say that. You can't now say, oh, well, it's just about him and not about her. But before you said you're trying to bring awareness to her. You can't have it both ways. It either is or it isn't. We all know without her, nobody would be talking about him. So just don't even go there. That's so silly. Then she goes on to, to say, I don't love her. Well, no, I don't. I think I've been pretty clear on that. And what's the first thing out of her mouth? She talks about thumbnails and how bad my thumbnails all are that I use for her videos. Well, let's look at Katie's thumbnails that she uses for herself. Yeah, Katie, you put those up. So, yeah, I would say mine aren't that bad. Mine aren't near as bad as other ones I've seen. And actually, I've had several people tell me I use way nicer photos of you than most people do. But see, in my opinion, this is what a narcissist does. I'm trying to talk about not using minors for content, and Katie's talking about me making ugly thumbnails of her. Now, keep in mind, she has always said that she has never watched any of my videos. A few weeks ago, she told somebody she didn't even know who I was. And yet, I show up in her court declaration, and now she knows what thumbnails I've done? That doesn't really add up, Katie. Got to get your story straight. You know, if you're going to tell these things, be consistent. So let's listen to another clip of what she said.
What we need to talk about is not using minors for content, and this can't happen. Okay, that's going to be, I don't know that, I just don't think that's, I don't know. I don't think that would not happen. But again, I think we have to be really objective in terms of how we look at things. I think Annie really was led by her emotions, and that's okay. You know, again, you think that Annie got wrapped up in the case with other creators. I liked her when she was on her own. Okay. So did that apply to Oren and Orson or Gannon and Stotch cases? We can't talk about cases because they involve children. Yeah, I feel like it's a very severe thing to say that you can't talk about emotional cases. And I also think it's very severe. And I don't agree with people saying trauma is not T, because I don't think people that are talking about this are doing this from a T perspective. I know in my case, it had nothing to do with that. It had everything to do with covering a story of what I saw was a great travesty that I believed needed more awareness. And I think this idea that, commentary is T is just, when we start dictating what people can and cannot talk about, it's really problematic, and it really does dampen free speech. In the same context of someone not agreeing with someone talking about something.
So notice right off the bat, she tries to make what I'm saying about Annie, which it was not about Annie. It's the deflection for me. Then she tries to say that I'm just talking about severe cases. No, I'm talking about minors for content, Katie. Then she says that we can't just not talk about things because they're emotional. Nope, I didn't say that either. I said no minors for content. Then she brings up trauma is not T. Y'all can see the comments. Never once did I say trauma is not T. I never said it. Yet she'll bring this up over and over. Then she wants to make it about free speech. Well, let's just talk about that. YouTube has enacted very strict rules about minors and what they can watch on their channel. So why would you think this would be okay? She said initially that it would be impossible, that I would never be able to get anything about YouTube to make it not okay to use minors for content. I don't believe it. I just haven't had time to work on it because my life's been so crazy. But don't think for 1 minute I've given up on it, because I'm about as stubborn as they come. So I think YouTube, with all the new rules they have passed about children on YouTube, probably would be pretty open to it. I think someday there's going to be a lawsuit against YouTube for letting these stories continue. That's just my thought. But yeah, Katie, don't make it about free speech, because we pass lots of laws to protect minors. And I'm not even saying it has to be a law, but it can be a YouTube rule. And I think maybe YouTube would listen to it. Because really, there's so many things everybody can talk about. We really don't need to talk about minors. And you all know Katie has made it a thing to make content about minors. Look how many minors she has used for content. The Duggar children being number one. I mean, look how many videos she has made about the Duggar children. Katie has made a lot of money off minors. There's no doubt about that. And then there's so many other, Claudia Conway, Daniel Cohn, the list goes on. She's made a lot of money off kids' stories, and it's not right. That's just how I feel. And it's not just Katie. There's plenty of others, but she was the first one I noticed. I could not believe at the time that there wasn't a YouTube rule that you couldn't use minors for content. I was shocked. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
We have kids. Parents have a right to talk about their children, and yeah. I mean, Kay Baxter, in the same breath, I just want to put this on you. In the same breath that you say that trauma is not T, criticism for you would be, I have been going through a lot of very stressful things, and you have used my trauma and my stress for your T. So it kind of goes both ways, which is again why we cannot dampen somebody's voice and say, you don't get to talk about that, because then I would say, well, then you're using my trauma for your T, and you're profiting off of that in the same respect. It doesn't matter that I'm not a minor. You're still profiting off of somebody else's trauma, which is what you said was trauma isn't T. So that's, again, an argument that I think is not valid, but that's my opinion. Is it okay to use adults' trauma? Exactly. And I don't think anyone's here saying, like, what draws the line at tea and commentary. I've always looked at it from no, you don't, but you use me for content. Your whole channel is me. Like, your entire channel is me and my perceived trauma. So you're doing kind of the same thing. And again, you can do that if you want. I'm not going to dictate what you can and cannot say. Very true. Like, run your channel how you like, and I will run my channel how I like. And I'm not going to come to your channel and tell you not to do things. And please just, let's not come onto mine. Anyways. Yeah, I might have to. I'm going to remove her at this point. Okay. So thank you guys so much. I'm sorry for those last few moments, but.
Okay, she starts this off with parents have a right to talk about their kids, which is true. And as far as I know, you're not the parent to any of the children you have used for content except for your son. So where does that leave us? And my question to you, Katie Joy, is how would you feel if I made some videos that were only about your son? How would that go over? You get so mad when anybody talks about your son. But according to you, he should be fair game. The hypocrisy, Katie. This is what I'm talking about. The hypocrisy. Then she brings it back to herself once again in that I am making videos about her trauma. To which I point out, you're not a minor, Katie. And she says it doesn't matter. It does matter. The topic was not using minors for content. So then, of course, she brings up trauma isn't tea again. Again, I never used that. I never said trauma isn't tea. But she keeps bringing this up over and over. It's so ridiculous. I don't know what she thought she was doing by bringing that up when I never said it. All I wanted to talk about was not using minors for content. And Katie wants to talk about everything but that. Then somebody asked her, what draws the line between tea and commentary? And she can't even answer it. She tries to, but she obviously has no answer. And I did notice somebody in the comments also said, because Katie went on to say that this story wasn't tea and she never meant for it to be tea. She was just trying to bring awareness, which is bullshit. But they pointed out that her intro says she's all about the tea. And they said you might want to change that when you're making videos on sensitive subjects. Bingo. There you go, Katie. That's from your own sub. Then she goes on to say that my entire channel is about her, which is just blatantly false. I have TikTok tea videos that have way more views than my Katie videos. So there you go. My channel is not all Katie Joy. And here's the thing. Many of you know that I have had a lot of empathy for her when nobody did. I asked people several times to back off her. I quit making near as many videos about her because I was worried about your mental health, Katie. I was truly worried for you. And I asked people to back off, and they all told me I would be sorry and I would see the light. So obviously you've only skimmed over my videos and haven't seen how many times I gave you grace. How many times I gave you great advice that you didn't take or didn't listen to. How many times I was empathetic towards you even when my own subs told me not to be. So you really, truly know nothing about me. That's obvious. Then she ends with, don't tell me what to do on my channel. I won't tell you what to do on your channel. Except she already told me how to do my thumbnails, right? Too funny. I just want to say at the end of the day, none of the social media that went on this case or any case with a minor has ever helped them. This stuff being all over YouTube has only hurt these kids. It has never helped them. And I want to say, she will go after Annie. You just watch and see. Sorry, Annie, but you're going to be sorry you went on that channel. By going on there, you gave her legitimacy, and she's trying to take your subs. So now, I will predict that she will start to slam you at every opportunity. She will start to bad talk you. It will go on, because that's how Katie Joy works. So, lots of crazy stuff going on. I'm going to try to go live tonight, but I'm not sure yet. Had a lot of busy stuff going on over the weekend. But thanks for watching. I hope you guys all have a great night.